To quote one of my favorite groups of all time, House of Pain, I'll rip out your veins with hooks and chains, just like Pinhead. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Doug Bradley. I gotta say, that's the loudest it's been in here so far, too. Deservedly so. I keep saying I feel like Bruce Wayne when he has a dinner date. He's so all the way the opposite end.
What does Bruce Wayne do when he's...
It's usually like there's like that giant table and it's him on one side and the woman's on the other side.
Okay.
I think it's to represent his isolated feelings.
Good evening, everybody.
Welcome back to Astronomicon. I gotta say, what do you think about our upgrade in the hotel? This is a much nicer venue, right?
I'm very keen on the absence of snowstorms.
Yeah, that's it.
We had a very interesting drive back to the hotel 2 years ago on Friday evening in about 6 inches of snow. It was quite the white knuckle ride. We made it.
Who was here 2 years ago when Doug was here at Astro?
Do you have nothing better to do with your time?
No, we live in Michigan.
Okay.
Well, the problem is that means we were here too, so.
Well, this is true. I don't. I freely admit it.
So, I gotta ask you, doing a lot of these conventions, and I've had the opportunity to sit with you at Astronomicon and at Silver Screams. Anybody going to Silver Scream this year?
I'll see you there. We can do this again.
But when you're doing these and you're out pressing the flesh and meeting fans, doing the photo ops and signings and things like that, what are some of the most common things that are being asked of you these days?
How long did the makeup take?
That's the number one?
Always, yes.
And the makeup, of course, evolved. I mean, 6 consecutive films.
It did. It was actually when we started out in the first movie with everybody feeling their way with it. It was about 5 or 6 hours, and it was in the first 2 movies. It was a 6-piece application, and it was changed slightly. You will see images because they're on some of the DVD boxes now. Some of the images that were actually taken when we screen tested the makeup. And you can tell they're screen test shots because the nails are actually pins. There's 2 things that are different: pins, not nails, and blue eyes. Clive loved everything he was saying about the makeup. The problem with the pins was when the camera was close, everything was fine. The camera went any distance away, the pins didn't read, and he just looked bald. Which would be a horrible thing. I had a lot of hair then. I wore a bald cap. I had a lot of jet black hair. Time is a fucking bitch.
I think you look fantastic.
You need an appointment with your eye doctor. Thank you. So that was a problem, and Clive also felt that my baby blues were slightly undercutting the severity of the image. So the decision was made to put the unseeing black lenses in, which led to its own problems, because this was, so where are we? 1986, we shot at 87, the movie's released, but we're filming in the fall of 1986. This is before soft contact lenses have arrived in the world. So these were heavy-duty lenses, and I had an appointment with what we call in England an optician, an optometrist, And he gave me very severe lectures about these things. He said you can only wear these for an hour and a half, absolute maximum, and then you must take them out and let your eyes rest for an hour. Or you and I will be sitting up all night with me irrigating your eyes because you will damage the cornea. And I'm not messing around, I'm telling you. That's fine. But you try running a clock in that situation on a movie set, and it's an absolute nightmare, especially given that Hellraiser was my first movie. So I didn't feel I was in any position to have any authority. I don't have access to a watch, so it's kind of hard to keep track on the time. And you try and delay till the last possible moment putting the lenses in, but trying to put lenses in once you've got that makeup on, having paint on your eyelids makes your eyelids less malleable, plus nails. So you want to leave the lenses going in till the last possible moment, and then of course you reach the point where you're aware that the clock is running down, and they will always tell you, it's one shot, Doug. It's one more shot. I'd say, okay, now the problem with one more shot is, like saying this baseball game will end when the next home run is scored. That could be off the next pitch. It could be in 6 innings time. And it's a bit like that with one more shot in a movie, because anything and everything can go wrong when you're trying to get one more shot, which may be out of your control as an actor. And you don't want to be the guy saying, but the optician said if I don't get, you want to be a team player, and you want to get the shot in the can, because you want everything to be as good as it can be. It was horrible. And then if I take the lenses out, I'm no use to them. Now they can't shoot me for another hour, A nightmare. Everything changed when I came to do Hellraiser 3 in North Carolina, my first time filming in the States, the first Hellraiser film shot over here. And they brought an optometrist to set. We still have the old lenses. I should also point out, by the way, that I am very short-sighted. And these lenses were not to prescription. And they didn't have a pinhole in the middle of them. They were completely black. So what I always say about the overall effect was that it was like wearing a cheap pair of sunglasses indoors on a dull day with the curtains drawn. And the Cenobite sets were never very brilliantly lit. I couldn't see anything. And my first shot, my first contribution to cinema was